What's up, guys? How's everyone doing tonight? We are here. It's Wednesday night, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday night. I keep losing track of the days because I am just so busy all the time. But I'm so stoked to be here tonight with my good friend Jilted Valkyrie. Very cool person, Twitch streamer, does a lot of cool things with like visual effects and movies and TV shows, and emo as fuck. Scene queen status, straight up. So I'm gonna bring her on stage. Yo, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great.
Great, great. I'm loving the aesthetic, falling in reverse. You
Yes.
have full scene queen vibes going on right now. Uh, yeah, look great. So, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Just we stand Ronnie Radke in this household, my cat and myself.
I love that. What do you think of the new falling in reverse?
I mean, I love it. Popular Monster, amazing song. Watch the World Burn. I listened to that on repeat for probably like an hour straight when it came out.
It's so good. I love like where it like switches from the rap into like the
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like the ballady stuff. That's such a
Yeah.
good song. And then also Zombified, great song.
hmm
Like the video, fantastic as well. Those guys just took off. They went from selling out thousand cap stadiums to selling out
Yeah, I love how
actual
they
stadiums.
like I love how Ronnie Falling in Reverse, they still perform like the old emo stuff and they
Yeah.
transition it into like the newer stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He really like. So they really did blend a lot of this shit in because like, I mean, when they came back out, I mean, when Ronnie got out of prison,
Yeah.
he went straight with "Raised by the Wolves," and I loved that. I loved how they came out right off the bat. I'm not sure. Like, have you been a fan of them from the beginning, or are you more recently converted?
No, I would say in the last couple of years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So like obviously he was in Escape the Fate.
Yeah.
Then he like murdered somebody and he was in prison, and then he comes out, he comes with like Raised by the Wolves, and they were obviously like on different sides of the fence, and they would fight all the time online with each other. And then they did this like Bury the Hatchet tour where they toured together,
hmm
which was really cool. um, and now like Ronnie just like became a superstar basically. It feels like overnight, but the dude's been grinding since he was like 15 years old. If you see
Yeah.
like the old like it's not good enough for truth and cliche video, probably Escape the Fate. Like he was literally like 15 years old at that time. They were full time touring at 15, which is insane to think. Like they've been so good for so long.
And he doesn't even need to. He just loves doing it.
Oh
Like if
yeah,
you go to his profile on X, he's just helping people all day.
he's honestly like one
Helping
of
or
the.
roasting. So,
Oh, I love it. I love his roasts.
oh yeah.
He just he kills it on that. Uh, but also like he's like one of the profiles that I think everyone should just go follow because he's just so genuinely entertaining
hmm
in every way. Um, so anyways, like tell me about yourself. So you live in like California, obviously,
Yeah.
and you
Somehow.
do. Yeah. Okay. So you live up that way, and you like kind of like had gotten involved with doing like visual effects for shows and movies
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So first, I guess tell me how you got into that. Like, did you go to school for it, or and then I guess like where you're at now, what you've been up to.
Sure. Back in the day, I only went to a 2-year college. I have an associate's degree in television and radio production in the hopes that one day I would become a film director. Yeah, that didn't happen. Um, I did enjoy the radio broadcasting, learning about how all that's done. And then also like the control room for like newscasting. I thought that was really cool. I got to do it for a play once.
That's
And
sick.
DJing, that was fun too.
You do DJing.
I did in
That's sick.
college. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
And so technically, I don't have a degree for my job. I moved around a lot. So my friends were kind of computers. So I kind of learned how those things work. If I have something, I own it, like my car, computer, whatever. If I don't know how it works, it bothers me. So I spend a lot of time learning how it works.
Yeah.
And so computers, and that got me into visual effects because I moved into San Francisco in 2011. So, wow, yeah, just over 13 years now. And
Nice.
I worked at Starbucks for a while, and I picked up an extra shift, just the right shift. A coworker pointed at me and said, "She's good with computers." And so I got hired at a software company for about 7 years. And then I left because my passions lie elsewhere in entertainment and not corporate software. And
Okay. Nice.
basically, I just learned the software that they use, Python, and I quit my job. And I just bugged them till they hired me, basically. And now I still work there 6 years later.
I love that. Sometimes you just have to harass a company until they give you a job. That's just
Yeah,
how that is.
I used advice from my grandfather a long time ago. Every job I ever got, I just bugged them till they hired me. He's like, keep calling them. It'll show them that you really want the job more than everyone else. So it does work.
It's true. Yeah, it's wild. And then someone says a little bit about V is that she's real hot girl gamer. Hell yes. So you do Twitch streaming too.
I do.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I guess we'll get into that in a little bit, but more like the visual effects side. So you have helped do some of this for like TV shows and movies. Like,
Yes.
what all have you worked on? I guess.
Yeah. If you go to my X profile at Jilted Valkyrie or my website emeraldmay.net, I think my link tree is on there. You can find my IMDb. But as far as art goes, Mandalorian season 2, I did some Unreal Engine work for one of the, I think episode 3 or something.
Nice.
Yeah. So I
Nice.
extracted some geometry, made it into like a texture for the artist to use.
Nice.
Usually I'm more on like the tech side than the art side, but for the most recent one, Masters of the Air, I got to do my first rotoscoping shot. They gave me this like 10-second panning shot. I don't know if the episode's out yet, but there's like 3 guys, 2 jeeps, and there's like the catering and stuff in the background with like trees. So I had to like trace everything and like this moving parts. It took me like a week. Um, and then I passed it off
Nice.
to the painter to do. So that's like, yeah, my first finally.
That's awesome. So, like, wow. So the chat is just like blowing up right now. So, Rachel said she's pretty. This is the one we were just talking about, Rachel, offline actually, and about her feet.
Yes.
That was great. Man, we got Heidi Brione stopping by saying, "Hey, sexy emos."
Hey,
Love
Heidi.
that. What's up, Heidi? Heidi's coming on my show on Monday night.
Nice.
She's dope as
I
hell.
like Heidi. Yeah.
Uh, so, yeah. So like you got into this, you do like the visual effects for movies. And like how did that all like I guess because this like part of your original degree, or did you kind of just stumble into that side of it?
No, no, I had a friend, I hung out with her like all the time. She worked for ILM. I was like, oh man, that would be so cool to do. So I just networked. I like grinded. I just learned all the skills. You know, I always wanted to be in the movie industry. So I worked for my dream, and
That's awesome.
I did acquire the skills. And passion, I believe, is more important than a degree. And people will hire you if you're hungry. They'd rather have
That's
someone
true.
hungry and willing to do the work than someone who just has a degree who's just looking for a paycheck. Because I took a
Definitely, yeah.
pay cut to take that job, and I still don't regret it.
That's awesome. And I mean, you obviously stay pretty busy with that. And
Yeah,
honestly,
it
like
fluctuates. Yeah,
if you enjoy the work, like it doesn't really feel as much like work,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
this is
Yeah.
this is just true. It's the old saying. Um, so I don't know. Like for me, I used to live in California during for a couple years as well. Um, did the last couple of years with all the lockdowns and shit affect your job pretty severely, or like what how did that work for you? Because I mean for me it was like I worked construction, so it was like I was still able to go to work.
Yeah.
It took like basically a week for them to say I'm an essential worker and I could be in my house again,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the dynamic changed completely. We're all completely remote at this point, except for like a couple of us. I still have to go in. Thankfully, it's not far. I like going into the office. I miss just loads of people being there because I'm slightly more extroverted than I am introverted. I do like being home by myself too sometimes. But yeah, I don't know, just people coming over, looking at what the shots people are working on. That was like really fun. now I don't know what anyone's doing anymore. So it's kind of sad in that sense. But yeah, it got slow for a little bit, and then it picked up after shows started shooting again.
Well, that's good that they were able to like move you to home. And I mean, like a lot of people, obviously, there's a luxury to work from home. You can do what you want.
Yeah,
But you're able to go into the office and do all that stuff too now, I'm assuming, right?
yeah,
Like, I mean, they're not going to
yeah,
prevent that. But like, yeah, that I feel that. Like, it's good to be able to just work in your pajamas from home and do things on your time. I don't know. But also, the last couple of years out there kind of sucked a little bit. It probably
yeah.
impacted a lot of other areas of your life too. Like, how did you get by?
So I lived in San Francisco when COVID hit, and then I'm like, nope, I'm not dealing with this crime right next to my house. So I moved north a little bit, and I got like stir crazy. So I had never had a license before. I just asked to borrow some friends' cars, and I would like pretend like I'm doing the DMV test on YouTube like every night. And I got my license in 6 weeks, and I just so some silver linings. COVID made me get my license, and now I can't stop driving and working on my car.
Wow, that is like that is awesome. So, and do you plan on staying in California? Because I mean, I know it's like, I don't know. I know you love your freedoms. I know you love liberty, but you obviously there's a reason you're there. And is that just mostly because of like the film industry and all that stuff? Because I mean, that is pretty big out there. Obviously, there's obviously more work in California.
Yeah. Are we allowed to swear on here? Just
I mean, it's just like yeah,
oh,
feel
okay.
free. Sure.
You can put up with a lot of bullshit for some great weather. I'll tell you that.
It's true. I mean, it's true. I lived there for about 4 years too long because of the good weather and because I
Yeah.
like the nature of stuff there. Uh, Ultimately, the taxes got to me. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I got to get to New Hampshire ASAP.
Yeah. That gas. I love gas cars. I will never own an electric car. I just love loud, riced out cars.
Did you see that? Like, California actually passed a law that was like, they passed a law that like they're gonna try to force construction companies to use like electric leaf blowers and shit,
Oh yeah,
like
they do
in
that. They do
electric
that.
generators.
They do that here, but no one really enforces it. Like,
Like it's almost impossible to do your
yeah,
job
like
with that, anyways. So
these guys bought all their equipment already. They're supposed to like give it up for like a few pennies and then buy a brand new.
Creatrix said, "I thought she was said slur, not swear." I was like, "Damn, what's she about to drop right now?" Yeah, we have a good time here. I'm not monetized, so yeah, let's just
Not yet.
let's go with it. um, but that's awesome. I'm stoked about that. And have you lived in California pretty much your entire life, or?
No, I'm from Washington State,
Oh,
so
okay.
I was speaking with Finn McKenty a little bit on Instagram. And we spoke about it because I actually lived in like the Olympia area for a while. Great episode, by the way. I love
Oh,
Finn
thanks.
McKenty. He's
He
so
was
funny.
great. He was a great
He's
guest.
a master troll with the emo copy pasta.
I know. I know.
um, yeah, I moved out in SoCal in like 2003, 2004 for a little bit. Went back to Washington and then went to New York for a few years, bartended, then came here in 2011. Been here since.
Nice. Okay. Cool. 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 So like but like you mostly grew up in Washington. So
Yeah.
uh, this is where you got your like emo upbringing, obviously,
Yeah, I'm a
right?
little older than most emos. I'm probably too old to be one, but we didn't really have the word because I graduated in 2002. I'm 40 years old. Um,
It's not a phase. There are no
it's not
phases.
no. So I was like the kid in the hoodie, like always sad looking with like hair over the face. So we didn't really call it emo yet, but there were a few of us for sure.
I mean, like there was emo before emo too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
yeah, I mean
uh,
alternative people in general.
yeah, I mean it's like alternative music was really like huge during the like early 2000s, and like I think like peak emo for me was probably 2004 to like maybe 2009. I don't know.
Hmm.
I graduated in 2008, so really it's all nostalgia. And really, me and Finn McKenzie, when he was on the show, that's kind of like what I was, like focused on with him is like he's basically saying like, the reason emo is still so popular with people is because nostalgia sells, and that's so true.
Mhm.
Because this was the stuff I listened to in high school, and we just always try to take ourselves
Yeah, I mean, when
back
I
to
was in high
that.
school, we had Jimmy Eat World, All American Rejects. Still love them so much.
Mm, yes.
So that was my emo.
Would you say that like who's your favorite emo band though?
Ah, man, I don't know. They're like,
I put you on the spot there.
I know that's so hard because there's so many different subgenres of emo.
I know. Well, I know you like Midwestern emo too.
I do like Midwest emo. Yeah, so that one's easy. Basement. They're a
Oh, I
UK
love
band.
Basement. Yeah, yeah.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like I kind of like I like Foxing a lot actually.
Okay.
Those guys are good too. Um
Yeah, I was
and
listening to Joyce Manor like all day yesterday too. Or Mom Jeans.
that is
I like
based. Oh,
that.
actually
Yeah.
Mom Jeans is great too. I met those guys a couple time in
Oh,
Denver. I
so
think I
jealous.
booked them when they were still just a little growing band, and they're so cute. It's so cool to see them to where they're at now. I actually do you know who Belmont is or Hot Mulligan?
Yeah, Hot Mulligan.
I
I'm not like familiar with like their
So Hot
discography too much
Mulligan,
though.
they're great people. Like I
Mhm.
booked them a show back in Denver, and they brought like legitimately two people to the show, and then they came back to Denver two maybe 3 years later. They sold out like a 1,200 cap venue. It was insane, but like they really kind of just blew up. But yeah, so man, I love that. I love all of that. So, what do you like? Where do you like stand with like the whole like music infiltrating or infiltrating the culture through music thing too? Because I know like we've talked a little bit about that, but like that's kind of like my thing is like I think that like the alternative culture, obviously, is kind of like historically impacted a lot of like the revolutions in our country,
Yeah.
including like going back to like ending the Vietnam War. There was a lot of pushback from musicians and bands and artists, specifically, and the politicians weren't really the ones doing the fighting. It was the punks in the streets, right?
Right.
So that's kind of like where I'm at. I was like, what are we doing today? I talked to Finn about this too, but like basically all of our favorite bands we grew up listening to are just Democrat shills now. So
Um, yeah, not all of them, but the ones who are few and far between,
yeah, it's
or
pretty
who aren't.
ridiculous. Okay. Uh, we got a bunch of highs in the chat.
Hello, Anna. I know Anna.
Um, so like yeah, so you have done a little bit with the music business too. So I know you said you did some DJing in college.
Oh, it was just like the radio.
That's dope
Radio talk.
though. That's dope.
Yeah.
I would love to do a radio show. This is why I started a podcast. You can
Yeah.
stream it on FM if you want, if you find the way to do it. So
Well, I do Twitch streaming now too, so it's kind of similar.
how often do you do your Twitch streaming?
When I'm early at it, I try to at least do 4 days a week.
Nice, nice. Okay. And like, what games do you usually play?
Mostly horror games, story-based games. I'm terrible at multiplayer. I've never been good at it. Sometimes I'll get kill streaks in Halo, but no one likes to watch me play and lose. Lately, I've actually been making games in Unreal Engine on
Really?
stream. Yeah, those tend to get more viewers than me playing games, but
That's sick. So walk me through that process. What does that even look like?
okay. Yeah, so Unreal Engine, it's free. AAA games are made in it all the time. I have a lot of assets. That's one of the skills I picked up during COVID, actually,
Nice.
because I taught myself programming when I was like 16 years old to make games. And it's so much easier now. They just drag and drop, move things around.
Do you play Dead by Daylight?
I think I have it download. I think I have it downloaded. I haven't played it yet, though. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Should I play that one?
I mean, Creatrix asked if you did, so yeah. If it's her recommendation, you should.
If it's on Game Pass, definitely I might look into that.
Nice. But that sounds like very interesting. So you like literally will just like create games on stream as you're going.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
you
what
don't
I
have to
like.
you don't have to code anything anymore. Everything's kind of even in like Hollywood, everything's node based. So you just like push the tab key and like a little search box comes up and you type the node that you want. Like I don't know, like a branch somewhere, like is aggro like for the enemy, yes or no. If it is, then he follows you. If not, then he kind of like stays alert for a while. You set like a little delay and he just reset him to his little patrol that you set up.
I
So it's
remember
kind
there
of
used
fun.
to be this game back in the day. Man, it was like RPG Maker. I don't know if you remember. It was like for
Oh yeah, I know.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Did you do that one?
I think I tried
I
it.
tried it. That was way too complicated for a child. I think for me, I was kind of just an idiot
I
player,
actually
anyways.
made
Back then,
a I
you
actually
what?
made a I made a 3D voice acted game back in 2003.
No way.
Yeah. I
That's
think
sick.
I've played it on a stream before. It's so bad, but I'm still kind of proud of myself that I did it.
Yo, next time you play your game on stream, let me know. I'll totally tune into that. That
Okay.
sounds sick. Sounds like a good time. Um, and so you like mostly play like horror themed games.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like, I'm assuming that includes things like Resident Evil and Silent Hill and all that shit too from back when they came out.
Yeah, I've been actually playing more like cult classic games like Deadly Premonition, probably one of my all-time favorite games.
Okay,
That was wonderful to stream. Then I finally remembered they made a Deadly Premonition 2, played through that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was pretty good. And then I found out a recommendation from the same game designer. He's obsessed with Twin Peaks, so it's basically like Twin Peaks the game. He did a
nice.
side scroller called The Missing, and
Okay,
it's also now one of my all-time favorite games. I have the box here.
nice.
Yeah.
So and you are obviously also very liberty-minded individual, very like
Yeah.
pro individual freedom. So
Yeah.
have you ever been like actually involved politically, or do you kind of like just say your things? I don't know.
Um, and I started out as a Democrat with Obama, like a lot of people my age. I'm like, you said you're going to bring home the troops. So I left that for the Libertarian Party for a few years. And then they didn't do anything here, so I tried the Republican Party and now I'm just an independent.
Nice. I mean that in California, that's probably the way to go. I mean, most people in California are independents and registered independents anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's really hard to not like, man, a lot of like, this is what I've noticed, especially in Northern California, up where you are and where I used to live too. There's like a lot more independent thinkers up that way. At least when you get outside of the city, when you're in like actual San Francisco, obviously,
Hmm.
and in the surrounding metro areas, obviously there's a stronghold on left wing politics and woke shit. But you know, the truth is that like the further away from those cities you get, like it's actually pretty based. Like they have the whole like Jefferson movement. I don't know if
Oh,
do you
yeah.
know? Yeah, you
Yeah.
know about that. Like the
Yeah.
top third of the state basically just wants to secede and be its own thing.
That would be interesting.
I actually like tried to help that a little bit when I was there. So like that's actually kind of like what really kicked me into moving to New Hampshire is I was using New Hampshire as a model to
Hmm.
create something called the Free Jefferson Project. And it didn't go anywhere because I made an entire executive summary. I had people interested and involved. And then I was like, this can't work here. It just can't work here because ultimately, if California was to split up into a bunch of different little mini states, it would have to be something pushed from the left side, not from the right side, because the right is drastically outnumbered. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw recently California's like, we should start talking about complete cessation again. We don't want to be in a civil war with Texas and everyone else.
What do you think about old man Newsom over there?
I actually liked one of his tweets for the first time, like a month ago. For the most part, you know, I don't hate him, but I think he's not my first pick.
Well, there's not really a lot of good picks when we're
He's
talking about
no,
politicians anyway. So,
like a lot of politicians, he said, "Do as I say, not as I do." So that
mm,
I think a lot of people soured on him.
yeah, I mean, he's just a politician-y face. I mean, he's actually like he's actually pretty shitty during COVID. I know for sure.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah. The
he
French
was
Laundry incident.
oh yeah, that was ridiculous. Like you probably know a little bit more about that than me, but explain it to people that aren't aware if you
Yeah, the
can.
French Laundry is like a fancy restaurant in California, and everyone was supposed to stay home, social distance for, I think it was Thanksgiving. And he was just in there, like no masks with the full staff and everything for his family. And, he got caught and he was like, oh, my bad. And he did it like again, like later.
Well, he also had like he had like a political fundraiser there during COVID, and they were charging like $150 for a salad. So basically, just laundering money.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wild. I don't know. The guy's ridiculous. There's really no like redeeming politics in California. I think that the whole thing either just needs to politically fall apart, or people just need to move away at some point. I don't know.
Well,
It's just shitty because like it's such a pretty state to live in. I used to love going hiking out there and visiting the San Francisco Bay and going to the ocean, going to Lake Tahoe. I don't know.
oh, yeah. I love Tahoe. I mean, I guess if you live in Reno, Tahoe's also great.
Mm.
It's too bad because San Francisco gets made painted worse than it really is on the news, and it is bad downtown, like the Tenderloin area for sure. But there's like so many good places to like Japantown or the beach. I don't know. A lot of people are more independent thinking than you would think. Like they might be Democrat, but like, I'll talk to people because I'm a loudmouth and I run my mouth too much. And I'll say my opinions out loud, and they'll be like, I think the same thing, but I wouldn't tell that to anyone myself. I'm like,
Hey,
ah. Yeah.
what can you do? What can you do? What can you say? So like, I don't know. Here's the thing: is that like, I don't know. You have obviously have a heart for California, but I know that there's something deep inside of you that wants something more, because everyone does. And I just want you to know that New Hampshire has a place for you. The freest state in the country. It's a little bit colder than you're probably used to, but you're always welcome here. We need more scene queens in
Yeah.
New Hampshire. We have we don't have enough of the emos here. Everyone's pretty emo and depressed all the time because they're inside locked in their houses during the winter. But I mean, other than that, there's not a lot of emo that goes
Yeah, well,
around.
if you know some cute boys in New Hampshire who want to sing Queen, sure.
All right, all right. We should start like a website or
Oh
something
my
called
God.
Mail Order Scene Queens. I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think that there's something there?
Um, that would be interesting.
I think there might be something there.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
have
that
we'll have to
like
match based off of bands,
oh
obviously,
for
because
sure.
we can't hate each other's favorite bands. Like,
No, that's
yeah, yeah,
instantly. And someone said Liberty dating site. No, it has to be emo focused. Okay, like not it's not gonna happen otherwise. Because honestly, a Liberty dating site would a libertarian friend finder is what Rachel said. Uh, we already have one of those, and it was just the original friend finder.
someone, someone.
Oh. Um, so I don't know. That's actually like something that we could look into. I don't know, like the whole like mail order scene queen or like a Liberty friend finder. But here's the thing: is like with that, um, I think it's kind of wild because most libertarians are just so introverted, and a lot of us are just. I mean, I'm not like a neckbeard, but and I don't really like hide behind my Twitter account, but a lot of them seem to. No offense if you're in the chat. I mean, like, if that's you and you're a neckbeard, you can grow that neck beard all you want. Just let's get shit done. All right.
No, I need him to groom.
You need what?
I need him to groom.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think to be fair, most emos do pretty good at that. We care about our aesthetic and our appearance.
If he
Uh,
grooms, I'll make pancakes and waffles and
Pancakes.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, now you're like actually enticing me. So like pancakes are my thing. I don't know. That's funny. Heidi says it's because Ben is pretty. Oh, that's so nice of you. She's so kind. Um, but yeah, so like also on that note, I have these really cool shirts. Libertarian Party Emo Caucus. They're for sale. So if you want one of these shirts, I'm gonna post the link up on my Twitter later. So go check it out. They're baseball tees, so they're a little bit longer sleeved, but they look kind of cute, right? I mean, if they don't look cute, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not like that, you know. I'm not really like a model here, but you know, I'm doing my best. Thought I would wear the shirt, show it off a little bit. I don't really wear white usually either. So I mean, if this is your thing, you want a emo caucus baseball tee, hit me up. We'll get you a baseball tee, okay? Punk and cute. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. So I don't know. This turned into like a fashion runway show, and I
No,
don't have
that's fine.
intent for
I
that.
I have so many different fashion. I don't only do emo. Like I have 1940s business, 1940s casual, like legitimate. I have a coat that's older than like anyone that I know except for my grandfather who's somehow still alive.
What kind of coat?
It's like a long black coat
Nice.
with like padded shoulders. I love 40s fashion so much.
That's awesome. So I don't know much about 1940s fashion, but I did like when I bought my house, I found this really old, creepy trunk in the attic,
Mm.
and there was a lot of clothes up there from like the 70s and stuff. And inside this like old chest, there was like a 1940s winter army coat in there in like mint
Oh,
condition, and I was like, this is so sick. And I lifted it up, and underneath the coat, there's like a bunch of like awesome old 1970s porno mags, and I was
my
like, this
goodness.
is great. This is great. So yeah, long story short, I've got a bunch of porno mags on my shelf that I really like never even look at. But it's cool. They're interesting. Uh,
70s, why not?
it's changed a
It's
lot
part of the
over.
culture.
It is. It's wild. Things have changed in that development a lot over the last 50 years as well. Let me tell you.
I'm sure.
It's
Yeah.
pretty wild. Um, she says, never even looks at. I mean, come on. It's like,
How does he know where it's at? Exactly, Creatrix.
oh, Jesus. Um, but no, that's cool. So, like, do you like do you like do fashion? Like, have you ever like made clothes, or like do you just appreciate fashion?
I have actually mostly costumes though.
Oh, like cosplay and stuff.
Yeah.
That's sick. Do you like go to like comic cons and conventions
I
and shit?
have.
Or
I used to teach lightsaber choreography. So I've performed the Rey versus Kylo Ren fight, Anakin versus Obi-Wan. I was Rey and Anakin.
that's
I
sick.
actually have a clone trooper helmet right here I made.
Yo,
I'm not gonna put
that
it
is
on
so
because I did my
sick.
hair, but
No,
there's
that's
like
sick.
there's like fans in there to keep it from fogging up. I have the whole suit too, but
How long have you done lightsaber dueling? Because that is like one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my
well, it's
life.
the choreography, not necessarily the dueling. But if you go to my YouTube, I have a video that's like 100,000 views of me doing my final fight as a Ray, and it was chef's kiss.
That's awesome. I love that. Like it did like you obviously had to train for that. Like how long have you been doing this kind of stuff?
I started that in wow, has it been is it 7 years ago now? Wow. So I did that until COVID.
Wow, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And like did you ever like uh do anything else with that kind of stuff? Like do you in the video do you actually like have like a lightsaber?
Yeah, so
Like
it's in front of a live audience. We're all costumed up.
it's so
I
sick.
my costume is Lucasfilm approved. That's how detailed it is, and I was just surrounded at what was it? Silicon Valley Comic Con 2019, and we're just you can hear because we hit hard. My friends and I, Kylo Ren, who did Kylo, he's like a co-founder of the Golden Gate Knights. They're they're a different group now, But yeah, he taught lightsabers. I just showed up one day. I'm like, I want to swing my lightsaber, and then I learned all the things,
That's
and then
cool. And like
started teaching it.
your choreography has to be like on point. Cause like, have you ever like gotten completely wrecked across the head with a lightsaber? Cause I feel like that would probably hurt.
Uh, I've definitely been hit by them. They're polycarbonate, so they do hurt a lot.
Jesus Christ, that
Yeah.
sounds awful. God. Wow. Well, I mean, that's sick. If you ever wanted to get back into the lightsaber dueling game, like I haven't ever done that before, but I would definitely pick up a lightsaber and learn, and I could probably kick your ass.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
just
I've also done Game of Thrones with steel swords in front of a live
what?
audience.
I
So
was just
there,
gonna ask if you've done things with swords too.
yeah,
That's fucking cool. I have a
yeah,
sword cane. That's about as cool as it gets for me.
yeah.
like,
One of my partners was not my partner, but my choreography partner was
yeah,
Brienne, and she like hit me on the thumb, so I started bleeding. So I just like used the blood to fuel my character expression, like.
that's awesome. That's so sick. And like, you're probably gonna hate me for saying this. I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, but I do love like that era, like medieval stuff, like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the
Um,
Rings is like the best.
oh, that is so good.
It's the
And
best movie trilogy of all time.
oh, I agree. And you know what? I was really disappointed with The Hobbit because like I loved the book. The book
Yeah.
is so much better than even the Lord of the Rings trilogy books. But the movie came out and I watched like half of the first movie and maybe I didn't get far enough, but like it definitely like did not meet what I was expecting it to meet. Like compared to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
trilogy was really good. Two Towers is probably like one of my favorite movies. Return of
Oh,
the King was
same.
good too, but
Yeah.
Two Towers is one of my favorite movies. Like Helm's Deep, that battle is like one of my favorite fucking battles. Like,
Same.
yeah, it's so
But
fucking sick.
I view them as all one movie, so I can't really say I'd like one more than the other.
Did you watch like the extended versions that are like fucking six,
Yeah.
7 hours
I won't
long?
watch I won't watch any other version.
That is awesome. So you got to just sit down and watch them 18 hours straight, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Just
the only way to do it.
it's the only
Just
way. You have to do
yeah,
it.
just sit down with some Ritalin, Red Bull, and cocaine and get through it.
No,
Well,
just some emo tears.
emo tears. Yeah, we live off of emo tears here. Oh, that's fucking awesome though. So like I like that is so fucking sick. I've always like thought it was cool to like watch like sword fighting and shit like that. Like and is this something that you started doing as an adult? Like is it same time as the lightsaber stuff, or was this like way before that?
Um, it was like a little bit into it. There's a lot of overlap, so I basically just used one of my Star Wars fights, and we just swapped it out with. I had a dagger and I forget a rapier or something.
Nice,
I was Arya, a very tall Arya at 5'8", but they just
awesome.
needed someone for some company's holiday party.
Who's your favorite person or figure or character to cosplay as?
Um, Probably the Pink Ranger.
Oh, nice. Me and Brandy were just talking about how hot the Pink Ranger was. By far, like the hottest of the Power Rangers for sure. 100%. That's dope. I'm not. I don't think I would pull off the Pink Ranger. But I actually always wanted to get one of those like really sick like stormtrooper
Mhm.
like get ups. Like the authentic ones that are like just all built out. Those shits are fucking
Well,
expensive,
my
dude.
clone
They're like,
trooper is authentic.
yeah,
Yeah, you can just wear it.
that's sick. Well, okay, you definitely need to come to New Hampshire. I mean, I don't know if our builds are the same, but like I could definitely use some of that. I'd go to some conventions and I would cosplay in some Star Wars shit for sure.
I'm pretty petite, so you might fit in it better than I do. I'm like the
I'm
skinny
tall
clone
as shit. I
trooper.
don't know. People probably don't know. I'm like 6'3", so
Okay.
I'm a pretty tall dude.
No, that should be fine.
Everyone's just fawning over Pink Ranger in the comments here. I agree. I agree. And Creasy Memph Cooper says you're so tall and handsome, V.
Oh, I know who
And
that
Game of
is.
Thrones had too much incest for the jump to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. That's I haven't seen it, so glad to know.
That's why I didn't watch it for a long time. And then I had a friend who just wanted to go through it. I'm like, there's not nearly as much as that, thankfully. I'm gonna. Some people are gonna hate me. Actually, not really a big fan of Game of Thrones. I never watched season 8. I just stopped at the last halfway through the last episode of season 7. I'm like, I'm
I've
good.
actually heard that the last season was like just from friends that have watched. I've heard it was like really bad.
Mm,
Like nobody really liked the last episode or how it ended. That's
I'm
usually
sure.
how a series ends, though.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, I heard they rushed it because they're like, "Ooh, we've got a Star Wars project," and they're like, "Oh, we shouldn't have rushed it. Oh well."
like what kind of incest are we talking though? This isn't like what are you
Oh,
doing, step bro? This is like actual like brother sister shit because that's kind of
yeah,
weird. That's fucking
yeah.
weird. I don't know. Yeah, I'm. I don't know. I will say that I've watched a lot of The Witcher. Are you a fan of The Witcher?
Uh, I played the Witcher 2 game.
The Witcher games were fucking sick.
Yeah, I should
Uh,
I should get through 3. I don't know. I never finished it.
Yo, the third game is actually really. Honestly, like the whole series is pretty good, but like the Netflix series that they came out with, at least the first like 2 3 seasons,
Yeah.
they're just so good. Yennefer is
I mean,
so
I'll just
hot.
watch the show for Henry Cavill because he's just eye candy.
I for me, it's Yennefer. She's so hot, and I don't know what they do. She starts off looking like this crippled chick, then she goes through this like magical transformation and turns her
Mhm.
like super super hot. And like there's tons of boobs in the show, so I'm obviously like very cool with that too. Good stuff. But yes, everyone loves fucking
So
Yennefer.
I have friends who do actual sword fighting with like armor and stuff. I don't do it. I don't like bruises. But one of my friends from there, Christy. Sorry, I just doxed you, Christy, but whatever. She's my goth bestie, so I'm the emo. She's the goth. So we hang out a lot.
Nice.
And she took me to a Ren fair last year. It was my first one,
How was
and
that?
she dressed as Yennefer, and I dressed as Triss, and I was just role playing the whole time, drinking mead and getting like piss drunk. And people are
Awesome.
like, "Oh my god, are you Triss?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." Or they'd be like, "Who are you? Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm a whore."
That's fucking
People just buy
hilarious.
me free drinks. It was
I
great.
mean, maybe there's something there. Maybe if I decide I wanted to start cosplaying or go to like Ren fairs, I'll just dress up and say I'm a whore. Buy me drinks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Heidi said Ready Player One is underrated. That is not the same genre though. Just wanted to say it. I loved Ready Player One. Did you watch that movie?
I did. I know someone who slaved away on that movie actually.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Is there any like movies that like we would know that you've worked on or contributed to?
Yep. No one watched it, but I think my name's in the Marvels.
Sweet.
uh, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and then TV shows like Andor, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan.
Hell yeah.
Uh, say, yeah, there's
Wakanda
more. Just
Forever.
you just go to my
Okay.
IMDb. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to her IMBD because she's very cool. Like she's done a lot of really really cool shit. Um so we are getting close to the end here, but I wanted to see a couple more things. So I wanted to say when it comes to being an emo scene queen, when did you realize that you were an aspiring scene queen? How long ago did that happen?
So when MySpace first came out, but I didn't do it because I saw the bullying going on. So I got bullied out of even trying back in the day. And then I don't know. I guess just during COVID, I'm like, that's dumb. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Like I don't care. I'm getting older. Who cares? You just kind of quit caring.
We're all getting the grays,
Yeah,
Uh, the grays are coming,
yeah.
and every time I say the grays are coming, people don't know if I'm talking about aliens or my hair, but it's usually my hair.
Both,
Uh,
obviously.
it's obviously
Yeah,
both for
yeah.
sure. Do you think aliens exist? Because I for sure think there's aliens,
It's
but
got to be somewhere.
it's got to be somewhere, right? I
It
don't
would
know.
be really really lonely and sad if we were the only sentient life
Yeah, if we were
forms.
like the only beings that like had intelligence in the entire universe, then like that's really fucking sad.
Yeah,
And then maybe we should just
because we're
all
not that
be.
intelligent.
I know we're not. And like honestly, at that point, like we might as well all be emo and just KMS. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, exactly.
just kidding. No, but that's dope. But I think so. You pull off the scene queen aesthetic very well. I before the crowd, I will knight you this scene queen and give you the crown. Here you go. It's
I will
all
take it.
yours.
Here you go.
It's all yours. That is the scene queen right there. I love that. I love that. Based, based. Work it. Work it. I love it. Um, that's great. But okay, well, before we like kind of wrap things up, tell everyone where they can find your Twitter page first of all, because that has the link to all of your channels, your
It does.
Twitch, your YouTube, your Instagram, your IMBD, all of it.
Sure. My handle is at Jilted Valkyrie. If you, I think somewhere on here. Yeah. You can find it there, or you go to my website, emeraldmay.net.
Emeraldmade.net.
You can find me there. I'm probably
It's
most active.
VALKYRIE, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Sweet. I just dropped it into the
And I'm most
YouTube
active on
live.
Instagram. If you want to see more emo pics, of course.
Oh, you've got like the most fire emo pics. Like,
Yeah.
everyone needs to follow her on all the platforms just to live out in your best, emo nostalgic. Like, but she's not like, it's not even nostalgia because like you're emo IRL. Like you're like the scene queen in real life all the time. You're not just like living in 2008. You are 2008.
I am 2008.
You're
Oh,
so
also, before we stop, I
yeah.
did want to bring up something from the Finn McKinney interview
Oh yeah.
about pirating.
Yes. Okay. Yes, please.
So back then, we knew that pirating music helped sales, but they kept it under the rug. So
I
that's an industry insider for you.
I actually like, so that's the thing is like I actually like I know I had mentioned in that I'm trying to like work on like a book project called Steal My Shit, where it's basically like against the whole IP arguments for not pirating music and all of this and
Mhm.
copyright laws. Um but like my opinion is that like, you know, when this was in its peak, when pirating, LimeWire, Napster and all this stuff was in its peak, people were taking music and they were spreading it all over the fucking world and they were sharing it with their friends. And like this is really the beginning of the digital music era as well. So
Yeah.
it was like really huge. Everything was developing at this time. Um, and then there's obviously like the Napster got shut down pretty quickly. It ended up being LimeWire and giving all of our computers AIDS.
Yeah, I
You
remember.
know, which that was very, I definitely my computer got AIDS a few times. I think I was one of the
That's a
first
rite of
people.
passage.
Yeah, it is a rite of passage. But like overall, like what was happening during that time is sales for concerts were through the roof. It was actually
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
were extremely high, um, directly correlated to the booming music industry, obviously. And now we're looking at it, and obviously, free music doesn't really exist. Although, like we
Mhm.
do have like streaming now, which is it's not free music. We're paying for
Right.
a subscription. Bands get paid royalties, very small royalties, but
Well,
you know,
unlike movies and TV, I mean that pirate actually does have a massive impact on the film industry because music's bingeable. Movies and TVs, people watch it
mhm.
once or whatever. Um, and then with bands, you can see the people, you can support the artist. Kind of, you feel good about it. So it's a little bit different too. I wanted to make that comparison point.
Yes, no, that's very true. And another thing too is like with like in the modern era, like with Spotify, I think it's something like 67 or 68% of all people who stream music are using someone else's account to do so. So like this is just like another version of
Hmm.
pirating music kind of. But I don't know. we've seen like a huge decline in music sales. Obviously, like no bands really make money on music, especially if you're on a mid or smaller level.
Yeah.
Um, and really where bands are making music is on merch, and really it's mostly
Yeah.
through touring. It's mostly through playing actual shows, like Falling in Reverse, selling out stadiums. Um, and I definitely used to steal their music sometimes. Actually they were Escape the Fate back then when I was
Yeah.
stealing
Yeah.
music. But um, yeah, like I think that there's like definitely a huge correlation here, and the reduction of piracy laws actually helps the music industry a lot. So, and I know it's different between that and the film industry. I can definitely see that and why that would be the case. But we're talking about like 2 and 3 minute songs as opposed to like two or
Yeah.
3 hour movies. You know what I mean? Definitely like, I don't know. For me, as a local, like a smaller band or mid sized band, back when I was playing, I would have been stoked if people were stealing my shit. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
like
want
my
you want
shit's getting out
listeners.
there. I
Yeah.
wasn't making money off of it anyways. We'd sell our CDs for like $5 or $10. Like that didn't get us anywhere. You know what I mean? About like Jilted Valkyrie. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been a good time. You are the scene queen. Like it's you. You own. Yes, I love that. So we'll get you to New Hampshire. We'll get you your
Okay.
elder emo, and you guys can just we'll do the whole scene queen mail order bride, and that'll be
Okay.
great. We'll get you out here. You'll have your elder emo sugar daddy out here that can just take good care of you. So and you can make him pancakes. It'll be great.
Okay. I'll start a company, the Black Pride Pancake Company.
I love that actually.
Where the syrup is just crying juice.
That's fucking great. Well, thank you for coming on. I'll drop you backstage real quick and I'll
Okay.
wrap up my show and then we'll talk in a second. All right.
All right.
Yo, guys, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. So, this Friday, I have 2 shows going on. I have Jacob Winograd from the Biblical Anarchy podcast. He's streaming at 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. And then from 9:30 to 10:30, I have Lars Mapstead. He's a presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. He'll be on my show. And then this Sunday, I have another presidential candidate, my personal favorite, which would be Toad. He's my guy. He's representing the emos very well in this awesome presidential race. Really coming in strong with the Crimea River shit and the tear gas. So yeah. Without any further, I'm just gonna drop a quick link to my sponsors here, which one of them is Blood of Tyrants Wine. And are you looking for a nice night in while sipping on the blood of your enemies and supporting the destruction of the tyrannical state? Look no further than Blood of Tyrants Wine. It's a nice Merlot distributed by activists you know and love. Bloodoftyrants.wine is the place to go. Use promo code FSM to get 10% off your first order. That's bloodoftyrants.wine, or click the link in the description below. And use promo code FSM. God damn it. Just do it. Do the damn thing. Buy some wine. Get some of their energy drinks. They got some cool shit. I also have Zebrahead coming on soon. That'll be a really good show. Look forward to that. And I hope to see you guys again on Friday night and Sunday and Monday with my girl, the one with the prettiest dimples in the world, Heidi Briones. She's awesome. Yeah, have a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye.